Cabarrus County 911.
Can you tell if he's breathing?
He's not breathing.
Okay.
You say she fell and she's unconscious?
Yeah.
Is somebody in the house with you?
No, I'm by myself.
He's gasping for breath.
Was he conscious?
No.
All right.
He's not responding at all.
All right, we got the paramedics on the way to you now, okay?
When 911 rings, we get the basic information, name, address, phone number, what nature of the problem is. Once we get that information, the call is routed to someone who will dispatch the appropriate medical personnel to the scene. While that is going on, the person who initially took the call is providing basic care to the patient.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and start compressions. Listen carefully, and I'm going to tell you how to do them. I need you to place the heel of your hand on the breastbone.
We upped our response to at least 2 engines or 1 engine and a ladder, depending on who's available in the city at the time. Generally now we have no less than 6 of our personnel on the scene, with the addition of the 2 ambulances from Cabarrus County. Generally, we're the first people on the scene, the first arriving crew. Our guys have pretty much pre-designated assignments for who's going to be on the chest, who's going to be on the airway.
Compressions to airway management, AED, which is automated external defibrillator.
When EMS arrives, they go ahead and start hooking up their monitors. We continue what we're doing. We'll give them quick updates, let them know kind of where they're at, and the EMS guys just kind of fall right in. They take over the more advanced airway things that EMS does.
Everybody clear?
We continue working right on until we get to the hospital if needed.
Good compressions going. I've got a carotid pulse.
I've got a strong radio.
Okay.
Good job, guys. Let's go ahead and get this guy packaged for transport. Continue on with code cool.
The code cool was initiated, which is where we are putting cold fluids into the patient's body.
The importance of code cool is that when you decrease your core temperature, it decreases your requirements for energy and for nutrients. So the brain has longer time to survive without ideal conditions of perfusion.
Usually it's a pretty smooth handoff. EMS will come in, they'll give a brief description about what happened with the patient, what meds they had to give, what kind of rhythms they found the person in, started CPR, how many times they shocked them, and then basically what kind of rhythm that they're in.
Everything kicks into high gear. We know that there are certain things that need to be done, and we have a time frame. We all have roles, and we know exactly what they are from the time the patient hits the door to the time they leave our doors.
All right, so I think we're ready for the Arctic Sun. Why don't we make the transition over to the equipment, please?
Code Cool, Arctic Sun is an adjunct that we use in there. So chilled saline, and there's an actual apparatus that we use that we essentially encapsulate the patient in order to regulate their body temperature. Once we get them fully stabilized here, to the best of our extent, we assess what the underlying cause was. So did this patient have a massive heart attack? If they had a massive heart attack and there's something that we can intervene on, we can take them straight to the cath lab and the cardiologist can do a cardiac catheterization. If it looks like it's not going to have to be an acute intervention on them, they'll go to the intensive care unit.
We usually get a call from room control that we have a patient that's on their way. Usually they've already started the cooling process in the ER, and so we just maintain that when they come.
It was really a fairly depressing part of our job is that we would see folks who'd survived cardiac arrest. We got them back from the arrest, but they then have severe anoxic brain injury, and families got tougher decisions to deal with than if the patient hadn't survived. And now we're seeing far more folks really survive with good brain outcomes.
Misty said, "Does your dad usually go off to sleep in the middle of talking?" And she said, "No." "Why?" We picked him up out of the rocker that he was in, put him into the floor, started CPR at once, hollered and told my sister to dial 911.
Cabarrus County 911. I immediately started asking questions of what happened prior to her calling 911.
Is he responding to you?
He was talking about he's gasping for breath.
All right, does anyone know how to do CPR?
They're trying to do it now.
Okay, my partner's getting the ambulance on the way.
And then I took over doing chest compressions. And it wasn't too long till the EMS got there.
As the EMT was working on Daddy, he kept us updated. He would tell us he's putting a line in or he's got the pulse back.
When he come back around, that was a good relief to me.
Code Cool was initiated, IV access was established and all, maintained the pulse throughout the transport.
When I saw him, he was flat on his back, intubated. We're, struggling to keep him alive, and now he's an active person back in the community with his family.
Hey, I was there and I come back. It gives you a different outlook.
Last thing I remember is hanging out with the guys right before we went to bed, and that's pretty much it.
Captain Bratton got on the radio and asked for assistance for someone who'd gone unconscious.
AMS 8 Midland, be advised the West Stanley firefighters down. I was not breathing.
I heard his call for help, immediately radioed back to our dispatch in Cabarrus, told them that we were turning back around to assist West Stanley for an unconscious person. Had no idea that I was going to find one of our own laying on the ground with chest compressions going on. I shocked him for a third time as EMS 8 from Cabarrus County arrived, and I finally felt a pulse. I was like, whew, what a relief, what a relief.
It's 10-4 NorthEast, they're on their final approach, they're circling, getting ready to land, so we'll go ahead with Med Center here to main. 10-4.
It makes me grateful, very thankful. Thankful for, everybody, fire department, medic, hospital staff. Very thankful.
The pit crew works out good because now everybody has a role in it and not really just become spectators. Somebody's always got something to do.
If you don't have to have that delayed response in providing airway management or early automated external defibrillator or compressions, we'll actually know the role so we can get there faster and provide the best quality care.
The number of people we see survive arrest with really good neurologic outcome has substantially increased. It certainly seems to me like it's at least doubled, if not more than doubled, in terms of the number of folks with good outcomes.
On a professional note, it's incredibly cool to be part of it, but on a personal note, it's so neat to be able to see somebody that's actually benefited from all the changes that we've made.
It's an amazing feeling to know that something that I can do, that we can do, does give a patient a second chance at life and allows them to be with their family and live a normal life.